the game headed into penalties. And I just know that all 57 of the Sundowns fans were watching the game like this. You know you were. Welcome everybody to the PSL Week with me, your host, George Mokwena. This week's special episode is going to be covering the Carling Knockout Cup. Let's get into it. When Sid Ramovic's TS Galaxy team was drawn versus Mamelodi Sundowns, everybody thought that this would be a very easy match and that it was over for them. Especially since we know that Sundowns will get knocked out, but they only tend to get knocked out in the semi-finals or the final. Plus, extra motivation was there for Masandawana, since they had just lost to Orlando Pirates in the MTN 8 Cup final. But this match had everything. TS Galaxy actually came out brightly wanting to play in this game and actually steamed to a 2-0 lead versus Mamelodi Sundowns in the first 20 minutes. But not only was this shocking for us as fans, but it seemed to be shocking for TS Galaxy because they quickly decided that they'd done too much and retreated into their shells, choosing to try and defend for the next 70 minutes. Oh, and this comes after Sundowns had scored in the 57th minute and also got a red card in the 58th minute for a horror tackle on Bernard Parker. But Sundowns not wanting to lose threw everything at the Rockets, with Ramutsei, Masego, Mashego, Sirino, and Nku all making it onto the pitch. At some point, Sundowns was playing with one recognized defender. And the risk paid off with Sirino, who Rulani didn't look like he actually wanted to play, scored in the 98th minute to send it into extra time. After a fairly dull extra time period, the game headed into penalties. And I just know that all 57 of the Sundowns fans were watching the game like this. You know you were. Unfortunately, history would repeat itself with Sundowns getting knocked out on penalties. Again. And we can cut them some slack. They had players who couldn't play because they were at Bafana the previous day.
Who cares?
They have team injuries.
Who cares?
They had an AFL game to prepare for.
Who cares?
And also, there's also that Pirates loss.
Everyone will say these are excuses and people will celebrate our downfall. But that's okay.
But just like that, the first giant team was knocked out of the Carling Knockout Tournament. Sidebar, praise up to Bernard Parker. It was good to hear his operation went well. I hope he's going to be back on the field very soon. One of the other Giants had managed to put a trophy in their pocket just 2 weeks before and were facing the worst team in the league. No, Chiefs fans, I know it feels like it, but I mean the actual worst team in the league, Cape Town Spurs, who sit dead last in the league, having played 8 games but 0 points on the board. So it was actually a little bit surprising that the score was still 0-0 at 59 minutes. I just know the whole of Escotini was sitting watching this match like this. Yeah, you too. But Pirates were awarded a penalty in the 60th minute, which was dispatched by Ubodlela. And Erasmus rounded off the 2-0 victory in the 65th minute, giving the Sea Robbers a chance to win another trophy, possibly 4 out of 4 for the Plama Rivero. Morgan Mamila made no secret of the fact that he wanted one of the big fish in his first Carling knockout game.
Yeah, disappointed with the draw. I thought I'll get one team that is still limping, or the other two.
He also made no secret about how he felt being drawn against Stellenbosch FC.
But they're struggling this season, truth be told.
Ooh. Truth be told, is that the case? Is Stelly struggling?
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the match, especially some of the pre-match quotes that we'll get from Morgan.
Yeah, right to Barker's face. So I'm sure he was very shocked to see Stellenbosch rush to a 2-0 lead with goals scored by De Jong and Sehoana. Chipper managed to get a goal back in the 65th minute, but ended the match
struggling
to get an equalizer and are now booted out of the competition. Yeah, it's very easy to wake up for Chiefs, Sundowns or Pirates, but sometimes you gotta beat your peers too. Now what do? I wore this jacket for him. Golden Arrows continued the fairy tale season that they're on, taking their second place in the league team to go play an inconsistent Cape Town City side. Things were pretty even, with both teams having scored, but Abafana Bestende showed their 2023 class, scoring in the 48th and 58th minutes, moving on to the next round and keeping that wonder season going. Dana, what was that thing that Walter Steenbok said about Mabuti Kenyeza's coaching licenses? 500,000 Rand in the bag. 3,087 days. That's how long Kaizer Chiefs had gone without lifting a trophy going into their match versus Usutu. You'd imagine that no motivation would be needed by Kaizer Chiefs, seeing as they were desperate to end the drought, they were playing in a familiar competition, and they'd already beaten AmaZulu 3-0 earlier in the season. An AmaZulu team that didn't even have a recognized starting striker in their first 11. Easy game, right? Not for Chiefs. Both teams went on to play one of the most boring games I have ever seen. But just when I got up to go get myself an energy drink to keep me awake for extra time, AmaZulu managed to score with an 88th minute dagger to deny Chiefs another chance of ending the trophy drought. And it ended in another game where Coach Ntseki was escorted off the field by the police. So MTN 8, that's gone. The league, they're probably not going to do anything there. Can't even look into Africa. I guess that's another season where Chiefs' best chance of a trophy is going to be the Makufe Cup. It just is what it is. Sekhukhune United is on a roll. They'll be playing continental football in the CAF Confed Cup, and they look to take that form into their game versus Prada Bloemfontein Celtic, aka Royal AM, a struggling Royal AM team. The teams already met on the 20th of September with Sekhukhune beating Royal AM 1-0. And history repeated itself with Twili Twatla losing by 1-0 again to Sekhukhune, giving Coach Braki's passage into the quarterfinals. You know, when the 15th team in the league takes on the 4th team, it's usually a straightforward result. How shocked are you when Richards Bay took a 15th minute lead versus Moroka Swallows? Possibly not as shocked as you were in the 61st minute when Richards Bay took the lead and saw out the game versus Swallows, who had equalized just a few minutes earlier. This just goes to show that no amount of big words or philosophies will guarantee you a quarterfinal spot. I'm talking to you, Coach Steve.
But I think burdens and blessings are cousins.
In another shock result, Polokwane City thrashed SuperSport United 4-1, the third best team in the league and arguably the best coach of the PSL era. But I mean, Gavin did tell us exactly how he felt about this competition. But I didn't think it was that bad. This just shows how mad Polokwane City was, having to drive all the way from Limpopo to TUT Stadium in Pretoria when they know that both of them have the same home ground in Polokwane. Could have saved them the trip. Imagine investing over 20 million Rand in a competition only to have a first round where the best team in the country was knocked out, the best coach in the league knocked out, the biggest and most supported team in the country also eliminated, and pound for pound, the most entertaining coach. I can only imagine what's happening in those calling offices right now.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down!
And lastly, everybody made such a big noise that if fans voted for the man of the match, Kaizer Chiefs players would win every single time and it would be the worst thing in football. Well, it's not just Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, Dolly did win. But just take a look at the other really deserving winners. Look at how much they love it. Except for Sundowns. Their 57 votes couldn't give a Mamelodi Sundowns player a check. So much for great support.